I'm guessing you're feeling the benefits of that bowl. Frida grinned, seeing Claire becoming quiet. Claire could feel the energy in her body, making its way throughout her torso and limbs. Likely from the gifts given by the Dryad woman, Claire's body was absorbing more than what was typical. The feeling of increased strength was something that was the most noticeable as a benefit of the energy inside her. Not wanting to make too much of a spectacle, Claire didn't try to test out how much stronger she'd become and thought about making some more daggers to see if eating the food would improve her abilities. You were right about needing to eat the entire thing. Claire looked at both Astrid and Frida. I'm guessing the shell has a higher concentration of the energy inside of it. She picked up another shrimp and quickly ate it. There was still an unpleasant sensation of eating the shell, though there was no doubt about it being necessary. Drinking more of the soup, the pieces of the shrimp was washed down her throat. The soup also has a lot of nutrients inside of it, Astrid added as she smiled, happy to see that Claire was adapting to the food. Is this a dish with the most concentrated amount of energy on this level? Hannah asked after clearing out the meat and noodles inside the bowl. She was now in the process of drinking the soup. Astrid shook her head. There are other shops with more concentrated dishes, but the prices are outside our budget. Pointing at the bowl in front of Hannah, Frida said, "It's probably better that you just stick with food that's about the same price. At least until your body adapts to the changes." Using a thumb to motion her and Astrid, I've heard stories of people trying out foods outside their comfort zone and being knocked out for days. It seems like taking too much energy at once can have a detrimental effect. Though those stories seem to end with the people recovering and not having any adverse effects on their bodies. Astrid added in, as though trying to reassure the two girls. Claire and Hannah exchanged a look that was likely misinterpreted by Astrid and Frida. Neither woman knew that Claire and Hannah had tried food beyond what was available. The two going through a painful experience that ended well due to their improved bodies being able to take in energy. Returning to the food, it wasn't long before Claire took the final sip of the bloody soup. Picking up the cloth napkin, she wiped her mouth and hands. Seeing the empty bowl, there was a feeling of fullness while understanding how important the food was for them. Just seeing the empty plate or bowl makes me think how important it is for us to take on more things to gather guild points inside the simulation. Astrid commented as she glanced at the empty bowl in front of her. Turning her attention to Claire and Hannah, she asked, "Are you two going to be making more knives?" Claire nodded. "As you saw with what we produced, there's still a long way before we're decent enough to sell to the guild. We also need to make the other stuff, like coke, iron, and steel," Hannah added. Frida slowly nodded her head, as though understanding what they were trying to accomplish. "Well, when you get good enough to make weapons, let us know so we can buy what you make," Astrid grinned. "Throwing daggers would be useful for the types of jobs we take on, especially when we encounter bandits." She sighed. Lifting her bracelet and checking the time, Astrid moved her hand towards Claire and Hannah. Claire lifted her own bracelet and tapped on an icon. When it got close enough, the bracelet made a beeping noise. Hannah copied the process. When Astrid pulled her hand back, Frida did the same as what Astrid had performed. When they finished sharing their contact detail, Astrid said, "Make sure to add us, so we can keep in contact. With our higher levels, there may be times where we're able to share valuable information that could improve how fast the two of you can level."